5 whys is simple, a simple technique, but most people can get it incorrect. People think it's about asking why 5 times, but in reality, it's about building a logical chain, not forcing a number. Today, I'm going to break down exactly how to do the 5 why technique using an example from my world in education, something that really happened in the past. Most people think 5 whys is just repeating why until someone gets annoyed or comes up with an answer, but we know it isn't. It's a method for uncovering root cause through logic, not repetition. So what are the 5 whys really all about? 5 why is a structured way to explore cause and effect. It helps you move from what happened to why it happened, to the real system and process behind it that created the problem itself. So here's an example of where 5 why would start to be used in the problem-solving process as an example. So typically beforehand, you'll have done an Ishikawa or a fishbone cause and effect diagram with your team, and you'd brainstormed out, based on your priority problem, the possible direct causes. And in this example, there are 3 that the team voted would be worth investigating further. So then what we do is we draw them up in a verification table. We go and check each of the direct causes to see if they are actually causing the problem. We look at the direct cause itself. In this example, we've got 3. We look at what the standard is, what should it be, and we look at the result. In this example, we can see that direct cause 3 was not at standard. That is potentially causing our problem. Therefore, this gets taken through into our 5 why analysis. So what we're going to do now is walk through a simple real-life example that we've experienced in the past. And we're going to start at the point where we've identified the direct cause. The example I'm going to show you today is a real-life example from my own company that happened around 9-10 years ago. And I remember it well because it was a situation where our centre coordinator had claimed a wrong unit for a particular type of qualification that we were doing at the time. And why I remember it so well is she started to blame herself. But actually, when we looked into it and used the 5 why technique on the direct cause, we found out that the truth was quite the opposite. So first, we got the direct cause in our example. And we asked, why was the wrong unit selected when the qualification was claimed? So the direct cause, the first thing we looked at was why was the wrong units certified? Yeah. So we looked at that first. The way we approached this, we worked with my colleague at the time, and we actually walked through the process and actually did it. Did it in real life, in real time, using the same example and qualification units that the customers have been wrongly claimed for. We did that first. And what we found, it was because the wrong unit was chosen. One particular unit was incorrect. So why were the wrong units certified? Because the wrong unit was chosen. So let's do that in a different colour. Okay. Well, that's not really getting us to a root cause. To get to a root cause, we've got to get down to process level. We've got to get to a point where we hit a process that isn't working, is either broke or gives us the wrong outcome. So we ask the next question. Why was the wrong unit chosen? The second why. Chosen. There we go. We continued to walk through the process again and found out why. It turned out because the awarding body's portal allowed us to select the wrong health and safety unit. It was the wrong unit. It allowed us to pick the wrong one. Now all of a sudden my colleague didn't feel so bad. So, because the awarding body portal, so we'll call it because the portal, where you go to select the units and claim the certification, actually allowed us to select this unit. So the next thing, again, understand why. Why did it allow us to select the wrong unit? It's the next why we need to ask. Further work, walking through the process, identified because only an out-of-date unit could be selected. We could only select the wrong one. So we'll call that to keep things moving because only the wrong unit could be selected. Let's call it that for brevity's sake. Why could you only select the wrong unit? That's the next question. At this point, we had to work with the awarding body and we find out the wrong unit was added to the qualification suite. Now, what's important here is it wasn't a wrong health and safety unit, it was the wrong issue number, the wrong type of unit for what's called the unit of combination. And that's what created the problem. So, the next question to ask, I'm sure you can all pick up on this now, is why was the wrong unit added? And we found out it's because the old unit was left available for selection when the qualification was corrected. So we stopped there. Why did we stop there? Because we've hit a process level. We've now got to the archiving process. The old unit wasn't archived. We've got to the archiving process for the awarding body. And that is what we agreed. We shook hands. That's the root cause. It's the archiving process. So we worked with the awarding body to understand their archiving process, and they put further mistake proofing into their process so you couldn't select the wrong units when archiving, and they made sure that it was clean, it was correct, and that future inputs into their portal made it impossible to put the wrong unit on. So it mistake proofed it for the future. So that was the awarding body's job. But what was interesting is we'd gone from a situation where my colleague were blaming themselves for this because it was quite a high impact complaint. It was quite a few learners that was involved. I think at the time about 30. But actually when we got to the root cause, it was the archiving process that was ineffective. So that's the important thing about 5Y. You tend to stop when you get to a process that either isn't there, so you have to create a standard. You don't need 5Y, just create your standard. Or if you drill through with 5Y, you find the process is ineffective. So you can fix that process, mistake proof it, improve it, make it so it doesn't happen for the future. And there's one more thing to remember about 5Y, just check it. It doesn't have to be 5. This example turned out to be 5. Sometimes you get more, sometimes less. But what's important is the because therefore logic chain. So we've drilled into by saying why because, well, let's go in reverse. Remember to go in reverse and ask the therefore. So let's just do that as an example. Now, because the old unit was left available for selection, therefore the wrong unit was added to the qualification. Therefore, only the wrong unit could be selected. Couldn't do it right, we could only do it wrong. Therefore, the portal allowed us to select the wrong unit. We couldn't get it right. And therefore, the wrong unit was chosen within that suite of qualifications, and the qualifications we selected were released as completed qualifications for the learners with the wrong unit. All the way back to the direct course. And that is why 5Y works. 5Y is powerful, but only when used correctly. And here are the most common mistakes I see. When done properly, 5Ys turns noise into clarity. It helps people fix problems at the source, at the root, instead of chasing symptoms. So why does this matter in modern organizations? Well, with digital systems, dashboards, automation and data-rich processes, problems today often have hidden upstream root causes. 5Y helps businesses to see these hidden links and logic chains. And when your teams understand how to find a root cause correctly, instead of the surface causes or the direct causes and symptoms, everything improves: quality, safety, planning, turnaround, cost. It's one of the foundational tools behind the continuous improvement mindset we champion at Qualitrain, because clarity is the first step towards capability. 5Ys may look simple, but it's a powerful analytical tool when used properly. When people understand how to break a problem into a logic chain or a logical chain, they stop guessing and start improving. And in today's digital data-driven world, that kind of thinking isn't optional, it's an essential skill. If you want clarity instead of chaos, start by asking the right whys, the right questions, not just more of them.